Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm Andy RC and today I'm going to be doing a comparison of the 4K footage of the brand new Xiaomi Mi drone against the P4 4K footage. Now my friend Chris very kindly helped out with this video and we're starting off here with a image of the Phantom 4. So if you're wondering which is which, the Phantom 4 is this one. It has a square camera, and then the Mi drone has got the round dome camera. So we are just trying to get at the same height here. And one thing that really impressed me with both of these models is just how stable the hover is. You know, we're just sort of trying to get the models as close to each other as we could. Of course, the P4 has got the object avoidance on the front there, so it would actually recognize that there was an object in the air and wouldn't let him get too close. But now Chris is doing a manual orbit. You tend to find that if you use point of interest on the P4, it won't let you get close enough to the object really to get a good enough picture. So we decided to go manual, and Chris is showing off his skills there and I'm sort of following him. Now, from my opinion, I do think the P4 has a slightly crisper image, but it's so close. And you have to remember, when the P4 came out, it was £1,400 or $1,400. I think you see them a lot cheaper now because they've discontinued them, but it's still over half the price of the Mi drone, which I think is really impressive from the Mi drone that they've got it at that price point. Now what we're trying to do here is match our ascent speed, and it's really difficult to do because each one of these aircraft has got a slightly different ascent and descent speed. And when I have flown with Chris with my P4 in the past, it's still difficult to match them. But now Chris is doing a orbit around me. We've gone up to about 400 feet, it was just under 400 feet actually, and Chris is doing a manual orbit mode. And the sun is in the horizon at this time as Chris whizzes past there from the Mi drone footage. Yeah, so you can see there that the image is washed out, and we've got some props in the shot with the P4. That's because it's orbiting very quickly. Sorry if it's making you feel sick, but I think it's a really cool picture. I think it's impressive as well, whizzing around like that, how the P4 keeps its horizon level. Now, when I did my initial review of the Mi drone, a couple people were saying the horizon's not quite level, and it does drift slightly, but as we are higher up here, you will see that the DJI does drift slightly as well. So I think the Mi is on par now with the DJI. You can see there, it's never really terrible, and I was quite impressed with it. So a couple of people were saying, can you do a range test? I don't really have the room to do a range test as I follow Chris on his orbit there. Yeah, I don't really have the room, but I wasn't having any problems up high here, and I can well believe that it's got good range on it. I never tend to fly more than maybe 300 meters max anyways, but of course I can't test that claim that it will fly up to 4 kilometers. So the DJI models are proven to fly much further. So again though, you know, they are twice the price, so I really like these shots here. I think these were some of the best shots. So this is looking at the P4 here. We got pretty close here, and I just absolutely love that shot. Really love the colour, well, on both of these models here. So then this is taking a look at the Mi drone again. It's around about 400 feet, but the sun is washing out. I really like how we can see the lights flashing on the Mi drone there at the back. So the front lights are turned off, and that is because I have got the slider set to the exposure. But I think it's a really nice looking model. Both of them are really, and yes, very daring getting this close. But just look at that. I mean, you know, they can't be using the sonar at that height, so I imagine it's probably just GPS there for the hover, and they are absolutely locked into each other. Just the smallest movement on the stick and you can get out of shot. So incredible accuracy there. So I think what we're trying to do here was get the sun behind me, so get a nice shot of some blue sky. So Chris is just positioning the P4 there, and now we're trying to get some shots of the Me drone so that we don't have the sun in the background there. So both of these models have great dynamic range, I think, but there we go. I think that's a great shot there. But yeah, I think just in the distance there, the P4 gets more detail in the distance, but not by much, as I say. Something that was funny that I was doing here is I'm actually looking at Chris's screen here, and you can see I'm adjusting to try and get in the center of the screen. It was quite a bizarre experience because it was sort of like flying line of sight, but at 400 feet. So it's sort of like flying in third person view, which, yeah, that was interesting, but it was fun to try out. Just look at this gorgeous day here. It's not like that now, it's overcast, sadly. And you can see here again, I'm sort of just moving the stick here, and it looks like it's the P4 that's moving, but it's not. It's my sticks that are moving. And yeah, it creates a very strange image with it just moving around there. Now, you can see there that the P4 went out of shot there, and the gimbal on the Me drone doesn't lift up. You see, on the P4, you can lift it up by 30 degrees. You do get the props in shot there, and I think you might see that in a bit. So this is what we're going for. Blue background there for the Me. And then I think in a bit you see the P4's gimbal lifts up by 30 degrees. You do get the props in shot, but it's really nice that you can do that if you're looking around for somebody, like we often were when trying to find each other like this. Then it's nice to have the gimbal facing upwards. Anyway, Chris caught my landing here, so this is the end of the video. I'll put a link in the description for the Me drone. Apparently it's going to be available this week. So as always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.